Look at those crazy hoglins. I've got food now for eternity, and so has Lovejoy. You know, I thought we've got 2 mouths to feed on the server now, so why not do something about it? Here we have a good old hoglin farm, same hoglin farm that I built in season 2 of Amazing Paper, and as you can see, there is bacon aplenty, so I've no need to worry about that from now on. So welcome back to GrainCraft, everyone. Time for another episode. What are we going to do? Well, first of all, I think we need to get closer towards collecting those eyes and getting to whatever the end goal is, and that will be just a relief to get to that. I'm still a little bunged up, so I do apologise for if my voice is sounding a little bit strange. I've still not quite got over the germs that I brought back on holiday with me, but hopefully at least you can hear what I'm trying to say. First of all, let's go and grab another eye. Number 9. Next up. So it looks to be a sea-based or water-based building. So yeah, what will it be? It'll either be a underwater monument or one of those ruins that you get lots of drowns hanging around. Looks like it's too close to shore for a monument, so it's probably a ruin. That is next on the list before we take on the last 3. A short while later, we are a dot on the map, as you can see. So not too bad at all. Hasn't taken me too long. I've just headed in the direction over land and over sea, and yeah, here we are. Just need to find out where we need to go a little bit more precisely. Very difficult to judge whilst you're a dot in the corner. Here we go. We are moving. So I think we should find what we want to find pretty soon. We're going past it. Okay, so maybe a little. Let's just get out and use our own eyes, shall we? Is this it? It is. Oops. Excellent. Nice and easy. No actual drowns anywhere, which is a pleasant surprise, because especially at night, I hate those things. Those trident drowns, incredibly annoying. Anyway, that was easy. Number 9 done. We are 3/4 of the way there. 3 more to go. I'm guessing a monument. I know that's a mansion, and then some sort of mountainous, snowy situation. Who knows? We'll come back to those if we've got time later in the episode. But for now, I want to give you a bit of an update on a few things. First of all, just a shout out to Lovejoy and his creativity. This is pretty cool. So we are at his quarry. In fact, I am lost already. We won't look inside. We'll save that for his videos. Look at what he's done. He's turned a hole in the ground. Whoops, I nearly fall into something quite pretty and actually quite realistic, really, in terms of quarries. Not that I've been to that many, but it looks pretty cool. And it's amazing how you can change a few blocks of wood into something that looks so nice. So well done to him. The other thing I wanted to show you was, can you notice this torch? Let's go, it's lighting up now, but this torch actually, and we don't have shaders on, actually lights the area up slightly. So when you're in a cave, in fact, let me find a cave to demonstrate this to you. Here we go. This is a bit better. So we have light, no light, light, no light. How cool is that? It's a lot more realistic. I know it's not vanilla. I know it's not part of the game, but It should be, don't you think? This is called dynamic lighting. You can get it on CurseForge or wherever you get your mods from. But I just think it adds a bit more realism and something that I think is a genuinely useful but realistic and non-cheaty add-on. So that's pretty cool. I only discovered that recently. Next update. In here, this chalet that I built last episode now serves a purpose. We have a fully functional wool farm. So we have one sheep in each of these little cubicles, although it may look like more, but that's just a way of getting the sheep in a compact way. So we have all 16 colours. And can I get up there? No, I can't. But we've got basically 8 on the bottom, 8 on the top. And all of the colours that we need are now getting produced and sheared and will be put out in these chests. So this is for the top half. This is for the bottom half. But we don't have to worry about wool again now. We're just ticking off those farms one by one. And wool is a genuinely useful building block. It's an easy way to get lots of colours without having to dye things individually like you have to do with concrete. So another thing I need to start thinking about is dyes, because I'm going to be trying to use a lot more colours in my builds in upcoming episodes. And so I need to start thinking about a sustainable way of dyeing blocks. Obviously, this is one way of doing it. Don't worry about wool ever again in terms of all the colours, but for things like concrete, terracotta, etc., these need to be dyed manually, and so I need some sort of collection of dye farms. So the next thing I'm going to build, probably inside here, where all my other farms are, hidden away, back here, with my melon, pumpkin, and sugarcane farm, which appears also to be a bit of a zombie trap. Maybe some better lighting is needed in there. I will come back and address that shortly. But I'm thinking in this gap here, let's get our first dye farm up and running. And I think we will be looking at green dye. And so let's go for a cactus farm. We have upgraded the storage. We have a significant amount more potential pumpkin storage here. Most of that, I think, is in the top. There we go. Yeah, so we should have plenty of capacity there. One chest, quite simply, is not going to be enough. And in terms of melons, melon slices, I've cleared most of this out actually and put the fully formed melons into the storage. So we now will not run out of capacity there. Same over here with the sugar cane. I had maxed out the single woefully inadequate chest that I had. And of course the zombies that were emerging from the sugar cane are gone because we have some light jack-o'-lanterns have been put at the back to stop them zombies from spawning, and of course more storage, so we have plenty of capacity. But this is what I wanted to show you. I've never built a cactus farm before. This is the first time for me. Incredibly simple, as you can see. All they need to do is grow one more, and then they'll realize there's a block next to me, that fence post, and they'll go, oh no, I can't do that. And then the cactus will drop into the water and it will flow down. There's a few levels, as you can see there. There's quite a few levels of cactuses that I've built. Cactuses, whatever. You know what I'm trying to say. We have a quick access chute here, all the way down here, and again, I've gone pretty over the top with storage, but you never know. I also need to hook this up to a furnace, a super smelter type machine, so we've got that green dye coming in. I'm not sure if there are any other uses for cactuses other than green dye, so obviously for building purposes, I suppose, if you ever want to use something green and spiky in your designs. Yeah, so there's again plenty of capacity down here, and I think a super smelter is going to have to be pretty high up my list of stuff to build in an episode soon. Also, I actually, in digging down, I'm actually quite close to the not just the slime farm, but also the creeper farm as well. There's both sort of quite vertical farms, all in the same sort of area. But I stumbled across this ravine which is pretty cool. Be very careful here, I don't end up impaling myself. But we've got some good options for these things, these dripstone, pointed dripstone, and of course some of the farming options we can do with things like lava and with mud. So we can start thinking about mud and potentially terracotta farming, which would be pretty good. So we've got a good supply of them down here. And yeah, and also there's just some open space here if I need to do any more building underground, because we're rapidly running out of room up top with all the building that has been going on. If I can just somehow negotiate this without hurting myself, it'll be a miracle. Okay, how did I do this? Here we go. So yeah, that is the farm update for this episode. I do like my farms. You probably... Oh, and he went straight back down. I do like my farms. I just find it fascinating how you can exploit legal, if that's the right word, mechanics in the game, and we can really make life easy for ourselves for blocks that we would like a lot of. So that's that. Pretty happy with how this has turned out. The rates are good. We'll have plenty of green dye. I need to turn my focus to other dyes as well at some point soon. But there you go. You saw the cactus there grow and then fall off and get taken away. Pretty cool. This is, by the way, this is the one of the storage wings here, and just to give you an idea of where I am, and this is the creeper farm here. So it's all in pretty close proximity. In terms of lag, I've added a FPS to the top left on my mini HUD. It's hovering around about the 60 mark, so I'm pretty happy with that. Of course, with all these farms in such close proximity, it's something I do need to keep an eye on. Also, if I throw a torch, does it take the light with it? So it does. A torch on the ground does light up the area. Interesting. Well, interesting for me, anyway. Okay, what now? Oh yes, that other mod. Check this out. Better F3. I've not had a play with this yet. This is just as the default settings are, but there's some interesting information that I could put on there. So I'm kind of using it in combination with Mini HUD. Mini HUD is effectively, it's many things actually in terms of rendering on the screen, adding spawn spheres, etc. But this actually means I can get a lot more detail without having to have it on the screen all the time. But this is actually a lot more information, things like coordinates and chunk coordinates and loaded chunks. So I've really got to have a look through this. I'm a bit of an information geek, so this sort of thing is perfect for me. And it's actually a lot more prettier than the basic F3 screen. Not easier to read, and you even get a nice animation. I'm easily impressed. Next up in the episode. So, have I shown you this road? I can't remember, but either way, this is a road that I've just put together. I wanted something a little bit different from the normal grey or dark greys that I use. That is a road that's going to go off to the island. I'm going to build a bridge over here. The island that I met Lovejoy at with the campfire, which has now been put out. But yeah, the idea is we'll eventually build a bridge over this bit here, and that's what this path here is for. But that's not what I wanted to show you. Here we have this road that I've built, and it leads, it's built up until here, but it leads to a little area that at the foot of this hill that I wanted to develop a little bit more. And you know what time of the year it is? It's mid-October at the moment, so we are coming up to Halloween. And I always have great intentions on the SMPs that I've played on over the years to do something for Halloween, because it's a fun time of year and Minecraft is perfect for it, especially as we have a pumpkin farm. So first of all, this is the site that I've chosen over this big hole in the ground, and there is some potential there for some sort of traps in the build that I'm going to do. But my next project to finish the episode off is a pretty big one for me, and that is to build a spooky haunted house. Shock horror for this time of year, but a spooky haunted house. I'm going to build it at the foot of this hill, and it's going to be a pretty big build. But the idea is I would like see, or to test out Lovejoy and see how easily scared he is. And there'll be some traps, there'll be some treasure hunting to find, and yeah. Oh, that went. How did that? Oh, sorry, I'm getting distracted. I didn't realise that you could chop tree leaves with swords so easily. But there we go. I learn a new thing every episode, as you've probably worked out by now. So let's get going with this. This is going to be a staged build. It's going to be some times where I'm going to need to think about block palette. I've got a design, and I will start building that, and I'll come back to you. Well, as spooky entrances go, it could be better, but it's a start. I'll work on it a little bit. I'm loving the sort of dark nether brick combination here with the iron fence. Is it iron fence? Iron bars, which are doing this weird glitchy thing. If anyone knows how to deal with this, please do put something in the comments. It would be great to find out how to fix this, because it looks terrible. But apart from that, I'm pretty happy. I've built kind of an entrance from the main road that goes between my base and Lovejoy's base. We have kind of an archway with some chains coming down. Yeah, it can be refined, it can be polished, but it'll do for now. A nice ruined road. I will probably swap these slabs for stairs just to make the holes a little smaller and a little less. Every time we walk in one, it's a bit annoying. But yeah, I've cleared out some trees. We've got a bit of a garden area here for the spooky house. This is going to be. I'm going to go for a sort of a little family cemetery look here. So I need to try and put my thinking cap on and see if I can come up with some ways of putting gravestones in a very non blocky way, if that makes sense. Try and make a realistic looking graveyard in this area here. I've cleared a load of trees, as you can see. I'll be putting more trees in just to give it a bit more spookiness. Trees are spooky in the dark, don't you think? But yeah, this road is pretty happy with the pattern. Got some bricks. One thing to make very clear, so I said I found this design. I did. It's not going to be so the original design is by these guys. I think it was Jar9 that did the original design, and then Sphere improved it, I think, with some mainly internal decoration. I'm going to take the basic design and adapt it to what I want it to look like. So there's a very brick heavy, red brick heavy design. I'm probably going to change a bit of that, add some granite, polished granite, and a normal granite, like these blocks here, to complement the red brick. I need to get more clay, of course, for red brick. So that's going to be something I need to have a think about when I start building the main structure. But what we have so far, oh, did you hear that? Is a basic floor pattern, and something that's going to get very annoying. I need to go and turn this off. One moment. Okay, so we now have this is underground, under the floor. These sensors and shrieker are just they're tailor-made for a haunted house, you know. So I can use it to I can use the sensors to not only to activate the shrieker, but also to light up blocks randomly as the player moves around the spooky house. But the wall, I'll block that off. That could get very tiring very quickly. I may waterlog the sensors to stop that kind of, where is it? That noise. But I actually kind of like it. It's a bit of atmosphere, a bit of ambience for the house. If you can imagine this obviously in a much darker, spooky way, and those noises could be quite unsettling. But yeah, I've added a few more here that will activate the lights. As you can see, waterlogging these, if you didn't know, that stops the actual noise that the sensors make when they detect player movements. That noise. What is the reason for doing this? What's the aim? Well, the aim is, if you look at this, in fact, I'll pop it on my head. There you go. You can see me here. The aim, and it's getting dark, and I've got no lighting. I'm going to need to be quick to explain this. The aim is to find all of the witches' hats, which is a custom resource pack, custom item resource pack that we've added to the server. So there will be witches' hats scattered around the house, and I'll put some sort of story together to say that a witch has lost her hats, but she's too afraid to go into the house. And she needs a brave player to rescue them for her. And that's something like that. The house is going to take a while to build, which is why I'm starting this mid-October. What are we on? Today, the day of recording is 20th of October, so I've got 11 days until Halloween to get this house built. But we've made a good start. Let's show you the last bit. So with some dynamic lighting enabled, let's head down into the first bit that I've built, which is the basement. So we have, I'm sure I can see some sort of skulk. There we go. Did you see that then? There's some skulk movement going on around here. But down here we have, in fact, let's just take the lighting off. Let's just not have any lighting, and you can see how perfect candles are for this situation. So the light levels are pretty minimal, which is what I was looking for. I don't want it to be too bright in here, but you won't get spawns of nasties in here. So I'll probably hide one of the hats down here. I'm not sure how many there are. I think that there may well be about sort of 7 or 8 hats. So I'll just scatter them around the house. But basements are creepy, right? This is certainly a little bit creepy. It's a little bit waterlogged. It's seen better days. Got some random cubby holes and bookshelves and things like that. And yeah, I'm pretty happy with it. I'm not changing this too much from the original design by the people I mentioned earlier, but I've added some lighting. Candles are definitely the way to go for this sort of build. Looks even better with shaders on, don't you think? Maybe this should be a shaders only adventure. We'll see. Maybe there's just a bit too much brick going on. Maybe wooden is the way to go. I do like the iron bars, apart from that, of course. But yes, I'm just being very careful that there's no. In fact, there are monsters everywhere. So I will bid you farewell for now and come back with a little bit more progress. Okay, a few hours later, there's been some progress. I've completely replaced the nether brick look. Didn't like it. Didn't seem to quite fit in this world, in this area. So I've replaced it with just some random, very old weathered type blocks. And I've kept the iron bars. I thought they looked good. Again, apart from that bit. But got rid of the archway, something just more basic and old. And yeah, another thing I've done is replaced the slabs with stairs so that the holes are a little bit smaller so you don't fall into them. Get a better idea for the wall coming along here, the sort of the property boundary. A bit of bone meal for the grass just to give it that overgrown look. And we have a crypt up here, which is just a pretty basic, again, overgrown, weathered type crypt. I'm going to need to put a sign on there to mark whoever lies within. But my secret weapon for this build, in terms of keeping the atmosphere but reducing the mob spawns, is this stuff, glow lichen. Very low light levels it emits, but enough just to keep things in the green in terms of the light levels. So we don't get, as long as there's no red, there'll be no spawns. And I've just, obviously you can't see it during the day. I may come back and show you at night just to give you a feel for it. But yeah, just a little bit of it scattered around. We'll make this more overgrown to hide it a little bit. A little bit that's scattered around will just, I think, keep the atmosphere. Let's pop shaders on. I'm very happy with this at the moment. Obviously, I've not done anything on the actual property yet. I'm trying to get the entrance as dramatic as possible. So, Lovejoy, you'll be walking along, singing a song, and What will he see? Ooh, yes, there's a mysterious property, which I'm going to try and hide as much as I can with quite tall trees. But I won't be able to see the roof of the property peeking out from the trees, so that it makes him kind of think, ooh, I love looking here. Ooh, it's a little bit scary, but I'll be fine. Maybe. We'll see. So yeah, what do you think? Oh yes, I've turned the credit for this design that I'm going to be building into a gravestone. I'll do a few more gravestones scattered around here, maybe one over there. Nothing particularly crazy, just a few random sort of family type gravestones. You may be wondering where this is in compared with my main base. Well, you can just about see it, the chalet with the breeder and then the start of the hill. But you can't, at current render distance, see my castle from here. Is it going to kick in? Yeah, just about. There you go. I've installed a new zoom app, by the way. Logical Zoom is back, and so it's going to be quite useful for showing you guys stuff. But that's all you can see of my castle, unfortunately, with the render distance in this world. This is looking perfect. This is just what I'm looking for. I think it's the first time I've shown you at night on camera. The moon's behind me. Look at the lighting. It's awesome. This is perfect for my spooky place. I finished off the wall around there. Now, let's stop delaying this. It's time to build the house. And here it is. It's very heavy on the bricks. I'm aware of that. That will need to be tweaked. I think I'm going to add a little bit more granite and polished and normal granite, just to give it a bit more variation. The kind of roof up here as well, I will do the same. I want it to look a little bit older, so the choice of blocks there I'm not what I'm going to end up with, but you get the impression of the sort of thing I'm going for. So what can I show you then? I don't want to do the complete tour. I don't want to spoil anything for those that might want a surprise when they watch Lovejoy's video. First of all, in terms of hiding stuff, we have, what is this? 17 hats. I'm going to have to find 17 hiding spaces within this quite extensive house for Lovejoy to find. That will be his Halloween challenge. I'll need to find a reward for him, of course. He won't do it for no reason. Great content for his channel, perhaps. Could be a reward. We shall see. What else could I show you? So the crypt is done. I've shown you that already. We've got some memorials to in real life, my chicken who died recently. She was getting on a bit. She died of old age. Bless her. My cat Jerry, she went missing. Her brother Tom may have had something to do with it. I don't know. We still have Tom, but we don't have Jerry. We have a pretty nondescript bench. I wanted something just to break up this green bit here. You can see candles. I have used candles extensively in a similar way that I've used the glow lichen, just to give it this place a little bit of subtle lighting. I want lighting. Let's pop the mini HUD on. So we have the shrieker, by the way, is not hooked up, so that shouldn't bother us. But as you can see, the light levels are pretty minimal here. Use of candles has helped me. I mean, it's just great, the fact that each candle, I think up to 3, you've got different light levels depending on how many candles you have. So most of them are 3, but some of them I've just put enough candles just to get these light levels off of the red, off of 0, to prevent spawning, because clearly we do not want any nasties to spawn in here, particularly creepers. We have, this is the way down to the basement or the cellar, whatever you want to call it, that I showed you earlier. So I don't need to show you that again. So we have a pretty empty canvas at the moment. It's just plenty of little hidey spaces for the hats. I'm not going to show you upstairs because, as I think I mentioned, I don't want to spoil too much of the surprise in terms of the layout for Lovejoy, who I know watches these videos, so I don't want to give them too much help. But I've got to hide some hats. In fact, before I do that, let's have a quick look at some shaders, shall we? Because it actually makes this house look even spookier. The candles light up a bit more, but the rooms are darker. This is perfect, so I might say to him, give it a go with shaders. I'm going to add more lighting for when you move, probably more shriekers. I don't want too many because that may get a little tiring, a little tiresome in the end. I'm thinking that I might go for some stained glass here, maybe some darker stained glass so that there's less light coming in during the day. Of course, nighttime is encouraged for this kind of endeavour. You wouldn't go to a haunted house during the day, would you? Of course not. So let's hide some hats. Let's finish off the outside, which I will probably do off camera because that's a slightly bigger job. Plus, I need to get a lot more granite. I've used most of my granite in the building of this path. But yeah, that's it. I mean, that will do, I think, for this episode. I will probably leave it to Lovejoy to film himself doing this. I may pop on the old free cam, and because it's always fun. If it's anything as fun as seeing him in the nether terrified, then it'll be good content. Perhaps not for him, of course. So, hopefully, what a fun episode that has been for you guys. In fact, the sun is going down. This is perfect timing for my outro, actually. We have built this wonderful, spooky house in time for Halloween, in time for Lovejoy to get on with things and test his nerve out, shall we say. So we have built a whole farm. We've got now a really good, sustainable source of pork chops, so we will never go hungry. We've collected eye number 9, only 3 more to go. I'll see if I can team up with Lovejoy in a future episode to get those done so we can get moving that storyline onwards and find out what is in store for us once we've done everything. What else have we done? We've got a wool farm, we've got a cactus farm, and we've built this house. Halloween is fast approaching. Hopefully you're looking forward to it as much as I am. It's always a good time, particularly on Minecraft content. There's always some good fun storylines that go on. Anyway, I digress. I am trying to say goodbye to you all. Thank you for watching. Take care of yourself, stay safe, and I will see you in the next episode.